So the Durham report, one of you guys, let me read this one. This is an article from May 16th, page 4. So whistleblower detailed distorted and twisted FBI weaponization claims right at the top. FBI Special Agent Garret O'Boyle, a whistleblower, revealed the retaliation he faced after testifying to Congress. I won't hold my breath there. Whistleblower Jonathan investigation. He stated, I won't hold my breath there because I'm sure they are going to ramp up the pressure to try to get rid of me even more now. O'Boyle described a two-tiered system within the FBI, starting at the headquarters level, within which we have talked about that as well. But it follows up with the story. Where is this one here? Whistleblower. Is that the video that says FBI whistleblower Steve Friend explains how the FBI evolved into an intelligence agency after 9/11? We talked about that as well. The Durham report, when it came out, it was just kind of like, hey, yeah, cool, moved on. Nobody really did anything with it. How much was in there for someone who actually wants to do investigative journalism, to go deeper to this, to hold some people accountable? Because there's a part of America that thinks, there are people in jail today that sold weed 20 years ago that they're still doing time. There's people in jail today that did a crime much smaller than what some of these folks are doing at the top with their different families, Biden's, Clinton's. You hear these types of stories like, how are these guys getting away with it? There was a moment where it's like, is someone going to be held accountable? So when you guys, being former FBI agents, when you read the Durham report, did you go and say to other agents inside and say, listen, guys, did you guys read this report? What do you think about this? Did you see what was said? And then if you did, what was the reaction from your peers? Was it like, no, it's not a big deal. What are you talking about? We can't even bring that up. Yes, did you bring it up too? If you did, what was the reaction of your peers?
So I was out of the FBI already after the Durham report came out, but as that investigation was going on, James Comey mentioned how or Chris Ray, I forget, one of the clips we watched, where they implemented years ago fixes for these things. Okay, well, if people of integrity and character were running the investigations, those procedures would have never had to be fixed anyways, because they wouldn't have been broken, for one. But in my circles, while I was in the FBI, everybody had the opinion that the Russian hoax was exactly that, a hoax. We knew it already before the Durham report came out, and now that that report is out, I think it's very damning of the FBI. But like you said, it's just washed over in the media. Nobody really cares. Nobody's paying attention unless they're digging on their own. And I think that's also problematic about the DOJ and the FBI as a whole. James Comey himself refused to be interviewed during the Durham investigation. Why? You were the director of the FBI at the time, but you're not going to interview for that? And then he acts like, oh, not a big deal. We already knew all this. It's that hubris that's especially at the top, but that hubris, people of that character are attracted to the FBI for whatever reason, and it has infected the agency.
Yeah, I was already gone when the Durham report came out, and unfortunately, my FBI contacts are Garrett and the other whistleblowers at this point, are the guys I spend the majority of my conversations with, and so we have our opinions on it. But I do know from experience that a lot of agents are just, that's above my pay grade. I'm not even aware of it.
Helpless?
Yeah. Well, and even when we were in the hearing, we had it from multiple people say, people didn't even know you were testifying in front of Congress that day in the office. They were like, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Willfully ignorant.
Willful ignorance.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
How can that be done?
Well, we see that at the top too. So last week, Jill Murphy, another assistant director, was testifying before, I forget which committee.
Yeah.
And she straight up says, Eli Crane, I forget where he's from, but his questioning of her is particularly poignant, I think. And there were some other ones who asked her some questions. She's never read the Twitter files. She's never read the Durham report. She's not giving answers based on her own program that she's in charge of. She's not able to provide answers, and she's in charge of it. And it's like counterintelligence, I believe, is what she's an AD in. And it's like that willful ignorance, or maybe it's even coerced ignorance, to not pay attention to the things that are going on in this nation. When I got hired by the FBI, I thought it was going to be a national effort where you're paying attention to the things happening. You're doing your best to do what's right no matter what, but it's simply not the case, because people are they're too comfortable. I think as a nation we've gotten too comfortable. It's that whole cycle of hard times create hard men, and I think we're in a place where before too long we're going to be on really hard times.
Are there more whistleblowers, other guys who are on the inside that reach out to you and are saying, hey, man, I want to come out, but I'm afraid, I got a wife and kids to take care of. I got to figure out a way to have a little bit more savings before I do this, and I don't know what job I'm going to do after this. There's no way anybody's going to hire me. Are those types of conversations being had right now?
Yes.
Yes. And a lot of people are actually on the inside giving us information that we're able to come out with. So like yesterday, I was able to come out with the fact that they gave all FBI employees 3 paid hours per week for wellness. Now, you combine that with the 3 paid hours per week for physical fitness.
For wellness?
Well, mental wellness and physical and
like taking a break and just being
metaphysical
in the woods.
things. Yes.
Yeah.
You could do yoga and color and whatever. But you could combine that with 3 hours for physical fitness, paid lunch. FBI agents are supposed to work 50 hours a week. Most work 40. So now you're talking 11 hours out of 40 per week that they are paid to not do their job. 27.5% of the time of an FBI agent to not investigate.
Why would somebody leave that job then?
Correct.
Right.
Okay. So you're saying what you're doing right now is you are the chief recruiting officer for FBI. They just got 17,000 applications right now.
I'm going to the FBI.
Yeah. So, hey, listen, I heard you guys are paying well and you don't expect me to work. That's awesome. I'm in, right?
Yeah.
I want that job.
When it comes to FBI salary, what's a starting mid top level expectation of what and salary and benefits of what you receive being an FBI agent?
So it's the GS pay scale. You start as a 10-1, but you also get availability pay, which is a 25% bump in pay. So
talk numbers though.
So it's about 70 now?
As a 10-1, that looks about right. And then
you're at about 78 grand.
Right.
That's where you start.
Yeah.
And then after 5 years, you get promoted to GS-13 Step 1. And so you get the law enforcement availability pay, which is 25% bump. This is agent salary we're talking. It's different for the other positions. But and then depending on where you live, you get locality pay. So one of the smears they put out against us is, they're paid hacks from Kash Patel. Okay, you go ahead and say that. That he paid us money right before Christmas from his foundation because we had been suspended without pay already. And our whistleblower activities had already happened. The retaliation had already happened. Where I was headed to Virginia, I was going to be making about $132,000 a year because I would have hit my GS-13 coming up here in like another month or so. And why would you give that up? And the benefits, the salary, the job, it is one of those reviews on Yelp. Oh, it looks like such a cool job. Yeah, it was. It was a great job. Steve and I were both SWAT guys, which added an extra element of service but also like a more fun aspect instead of sitting in the office all the time. Like
instead of being a nerd like Steve talked about.
Correct. You get the cool guy factor.
And so, and the new unit I was heading to, I was really excited about what I was going to be doing there. For people to say, oh, they're just grifters and paid hacks and all this, like not further from the truth. And I've told my wife because all of this, we were probably getting to a point where we were the callus was forming over a lot of what has happened, and now in a very public way, it's all back, and I'm talking about it every day, which is fine. I hope that is part of the healing process for me, but this journey has not been easy, and if I could snap my fingers, I would be making my $130,000 salary, and I'd be more or less an anonymous FBI agent. I don't think I really look like an FBI agent, so I'd blend in well, and we were comfortable, But
now everybody knows that face, that beard, that hair, cover of GQ out here.
But getting outside your comfort zone is also a good thing, and I never thought my belief in that would lead me to something like this, but. As strange as it is to say and probably to hear, I'm grateful that the Lord has put this opportunity in front of me because I can only go forward and hopefully glorify Him in the process.
That's awesome.
I will say that you do have the Adam Sandler Zohan look, though. I don't know if you know that look. That's a legit look.
I like it.
I can't get it out of my head right now. That's all I'm thinking about with the hair doing all this stuff.
We got a few good men and we got the Zohan.
Yeah. So if you want to just show the picture, I mean, there is an element of a little bit of Zohan stuff going on there. It's a good-looking guy.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.